in a matter of seconds. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Mortgage Coach Tuesday interview. Today, I am sitting down in masterminding with Craig Sewing, the founder and leader of the American Dream Movement. What's up, brother?
Going on, man. Thanks for having me.
I think I just made that up, the American Dream Movement. I think maybe it's called the American Dream Revolution, or maybe it's called American Dream 2.0, like your book. What do you think?
Hey, let's go with it.
I like it.
Revolution.
Yeah, I like revolution too. And here's the deal, guys. Craig has been on this mission for more years than I can remember at leveraging media to help referral-based professionals like realtors, like mortgage professionals, create community, create a competitive advantage, generate leads, and have a lot of fun. And no one has mentored, coached, and enabled more realtors, more mortgage professionals than Craig Sewing on how to be badasses with media. So it really is an honor to have my brother, Craig Sewing on. Craig was a loan officer once upon a time. He was, well, I shouldn't say was, because once you're a ninja red belt who's done over 1,000 total cost analysis, you're always a mortgage coach ninja. So Craig, welcome to the community, brother.
Yeah, mortgage is in my DNA.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And we have a couple superstar top producers that are using borrower education as a competitive advantage, and they're using media as a competitive advantage. We've got Walt Schulz. Well, I know I've interviewed you for your company a few times, Waterstone, but have I had you on the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, or is this your first appearance, brother?
This is my first one, man. Excited.
Well, welcome to the leadership table, and it's great to have you here, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm honored.
Yeah, I'm honored to have you as a friend and a leader at Mortgage Coach. And then we have Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant is a legend in the mortgage business. He's one of America's most successful loan officers. Ryan, I was watching your American Dream show the other day, and you said you're the top team in Orange County. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. In terms of number of families helped, correct.
Dude, that is what an accomplishment. One of the most affluent, one of the most successful markets in America, and you're number one in one of the top 25 teams in the country. Is that right?
Yeah.
And using media, using Mortgage Coach as a competitive advantage. So we have a great crew. We wanted to have Michelle Castle. She was invited, but she has COVID at the moment. So let's give our prayers to Michelle. And she did post in our group, and I pinned it to the top. So while Michelle Castle won't be live on this call, she will be here in spirit. We might even play one of her videos with Craig later on. But read her post. Her post it's spectacular. She shares why she is using media as a competitive advantage, and she breaks down how in different categories. If you read it and you like it, you're like, oh, that was valuable. Give it a like, give it a love, and share it with your friends. So let's get into the conversation. Let's start with you, Craig. Why is media being used so much by the real estate and mortgage industry?
Well, we could just go to our good friend Gary Vee, who I think is one of the world leaders in this space. And at Inman's conference years ago, he was speaking to thousands of realtors, and he said, you need to take on the mindset that you're a media company first, comma, a realtor, comma, a loan officer. Look, a great originator is going to know underwriting guidelines, have a great team, but you're limited on growth if you're not a great marketer. Market share is gained through great marketing. And so media is just the platform that enables that. In the past, years ago, maybe even before many of us got in the business, that was radio and television. Now you have this social media where people are conversing, and connectivity is more opportunistic now than ever before. And if you recognize the mediums for that, content is king, the distribution of that content is queen, and wears the pants, and that's who sees it. And if you're out there creating consistent, incredible content, now is the best opportunity in the history of mankind to be a marketer. And to me, to grow in any business, especially sales oriented, you got to be a good marketer, and media is the game. Content is the currency.
Love that. And Ryan, why don't we go to you? Why are you using media as part of your platform, and has your priority elevated? Like in 2021, are you going to take it to an even new level? So why?
Yeah, definitely. We have a very unique story to tell. I feel I feel that as we're trying to change the real estate and mortgage industries for the better, we can't really do that, in writing, right? We're not going to be able to write an article about it. We're not going to be able to, tell as many people as we want if we just do it client by client, right? So we have to create stories. We have to create media that can penetrate different markets and that we can use to, speak one to many as opposed to one to one. And so, the American Dream platform has been great to help us do that. And we continue, and we expect to double down into that next year. And we really want more people to understand that there's a different level of value you should expect from your mortgage provider and your real estate provider. And we want to be as loud as possible with that.
I love that. I love that. And Walt, let's go to you. Why are you using media now? And are you doubling down for 2021?
Yeah, we actually are. So I just started with Craig with the American Dream, and I think our first episode is going to air, I think December, hopefully. So ultimately, we ended up wanting to go more social media because it really goes to the education, and we're known as the educating team within Salem, Oregon here, and we've had tons of lunch and learns. We've done those religiously for a long time pre-COVID. When COVID hit, we started doing lunch and learns on a weekly basis. And so now it's time to really start pressing those things out to social media and again, educating not only realtors, but borrowers and partners as to what can be accomplished through the mortgage when it's managed correctly. I think Ryan said it so eloquently where it's so many people, they don't know how to manage their mortgage. They don't understand finance. And so it's a pleasure to be able to work with those individuals to show them through social media, through Mortgage Coach with the tools that you've created, how they can pay their mortgage off faster, how they can get out of debt faster, how they can think about things different, how they can invest money and do that differently. So it just goes to education. And I'm just going back to something that Dan Keller had said, which is, I don't need everybody in my marketplace to use me realtor wise. I want everybody to know me.
Love that, guys. So think about it. You're creating one-on-one stories with the family. You're asking, what are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your goals? And then you're showing a mortgage strategy with a mortgage coach. But that's one story. Now you need to amplify that. And you need to elevate yourself in the market. So, Craig, I'm going to come back to you in just a minute. Before I do, I'm going to bring Michelle Castle in spirit. And I'm going to show you an example of some of the media she's created with Craig. And then it will kind of tell why Michelle is using media. And then, guys, let's get ready. We're going to get into how are you doing it and how are top realtors doing it. So let's see an example of what Michelle's doing. And I think it will become obvious one of the reasons why she's doing it.
Castle, amazing mortgage professional, going to show you around that part of the world. Let's go check it out.
I got a fire in me that can't be tamed.
Living a life you love in North Texas. We have businesses moving here because of tax structure. We have businesses moving here because of the cost of real estate. We have businesses moving here because of the job market. We have families moving here because of the lifestyle that is so affordable. It's Michelle Castle, and you're watching Financing the American Dream by American Dream TV.
I'm king of the mountain.
So, guys, why does Michelle Castle want to use media? Because she wants to be the most well-known, most well-respected mortgage professional in her local community. And I think that's just a great example of how she's going beyond telling family stories, which I think are important, going beyond interviewing local leaders, which I think you should be doing that too, going beyond putting a video on a TCA and telling a story, which you should be doing that. But she's like, hey, let's create some really well-produced content. Let's partner with someone like Craig and let's crush it. So Craig, anything you want to add to that? And then I'd love to have you just kind of like break down all of the different ways realtors and lenders are creating media.
Yeah, that segment's awesome. She's just got such a vibrant personality and great energy around this business. And I think most people in the mortgage coach community have that same energy, that same passion I love how Ryan just in this call didn't say the loans I've done or transactions, he said families served. That's what this whole thing is all about. It's about creating content around what that passion is and ultimately connectivity. The industry is shifting. I think we all know this. And there's a race to get to the consumer first. Realtors' job has always been to get to the consumer first. And historically speaking, a mortgage professional is waiting on that referral from the realtor. The challenge that realtors have right now is that they have a competitor. That competitor is called tech, and tech has $1 trillion, and they want to get to the consumer first as well. So now there's starting to become this dramatic shift of race to the consumer. I have a realtor partner in Phoenix, Arizona, who I was speaking with last week, and he has a relationship with some organization out of Florida that is advertising discount brokerage. And that was shunned before, this whole discount brokerage. Now they're offering 2% commission, and then they refer to him, who has to then only list it at 2% and pay 35% on the back end of that deal. And he's ecstatic about it because it's business he wouldn't have had. He's looking at more transactions. Now, nobody knows the volume game more than mortgage professionals who survived 2008 and your margin compression, you started getting less points. What I believe right now, the opportunity for the mortgage professional right now, when tech is moving in and realtors are scrambling to try and figure out how they're going to compete, how are they going to get to that consumer first? How are they not going to give up 35% of their commission? If you can bring value to them and helping them to create stories and bring their marketplace alive, bring those stories alive and energize the community. As Michelle Castle actually said in her post, I love that quote, energize the community. To me, that is what a mortgage professional should be doing. You should be creating content with your realtors, partnering. I don't believe it should be all about numbers and interest rates. I think it's one thing to find your dream home. It's another thing to finance your dream home. I think mortgage professionals should be getting out there and creating more content than the realtors. They're the ones who actually make the deal come together. So getting out, creating credible content and showcasing yourself as a professional that you are in your market that isn't just behind the desk and looking at the numbers, which is critically important, but also connect with people. People want to see how you can afford in this area. Why would someone buy? Show us the rent versus own, but in the context of this is the house that you could buy in this nook and cranny of a marketplace. To me, that's how you win is in the content game as a mortgage professional.
Love that. Ryan, anything you want to add to that or any questions you have for Craig? While I am the moderator of this conversation, I would love for you guys to ask each other questions. So Ryan, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think Craig was spot on when he talks about getting to the consumer first, right? But I think that we really need to figure out what even that means, right? Because I was talking at a group last week, and people keep talking about getting to the lead first, right? Buying Zillow leads, generating their own leads. And what I had expressed was that most people that's still too late, right? So if Walt is planning on buying a home, right? Or he's sitting in his house, he's thinking about it, and all of a sudden he realizes, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a house or sell a house or refinance my house. Well, no one knows that. The only person who knows that is Walt. It's in his head right now. He is then going to have to take an action to expose himself for all of us to find him, right? So he's going to go online. He's going to put his information in somewhere. He's going to go to Zillow. He's going to, try and go to someone's website. Whether he goes to one person or he opens himself up to everybody to find him, he's already made the decision at that point, right? He's already done the hard work. He's already said, okay, I'm going to do this. And now I just need someone to get the transaction done. And I have this pet peeve of mine where I hear, when realtors and lenders say, I just really love helping people. Well, if you really love helping people, help them before they make the decision, right? Because at this point, we're just completing the transaction, right? So if we can get to Walt before he's made that decision, and we can show him incredible levels of value, right? He can count on us. We can help him through his decision-making process. We can help it with a plan and a strategy and a timeline. And if he knows that exists, which it doesn't in today's world, right? Outside of the few key people in the mortgage or real estate space, if we can get to the consumer then we help them make the decision to buy, sell, or finance a home. And that is what I believe that media does, right? For us, we're a member, and I know Walt is as well. We're on Art of Homeownership's platform, which allows me to have a microphone to say, look, you don't have to want to buy, sell, or finance a home, right? We're still going to invest in you in advance. We're going to give you all 7 of these services, and we're going to help you make really great decisions but we have to have a loudspeaker to tell people that, because in the history of our industry, we've never done that. We've only helped people when they've said they wanted to buy, sell, or finance a home. And until that point, we've given them no attention. We've given them no value. We haven't really extended ourselves to the 99% of the population that has not decided to buy, sell, or finance a home yet. We've only all gone after the 1% who has. So yes, getting to the consumer first is helpful, but if you have the appropriate message and the appropriate value and the right systems in place, we want to adopt the 99% of America who's not ready yet, and then just work with them over time, right? So the loudspeaker of American Dream TV and any other media platform allows you to educate people that there's a better way to go through this. You don't have to come to this decision on your own. And then once you do, you need to work with somebody who uses educational based, learning techniques, someone who will present them with the TCA, go through the really appropriate advice and guidance, but then not stop there. Let them, that same client know that we're going to help them for 30 years, right? In a very proactive way. And even that takes media, right? It takes media to your database. It takes video and content to continue to remind your past clients, hey, we not only have we not left, we're still actively engaged, right? We're still proactively helping you plan for the future real estate goals, growing your generational wealth. And because there's never been something like that in the industry, we have to tap into media and video and content to be able to let people know in a very sincere, open way.
Love what you said there. Community, want to remind you, this is a mastermind. So if you're watching this in Zoom, put a question in chat. If you're watching this in Facebook, you can ask questions, share takeaways in comments. Walt, any questions for either Craig or Ryan, or anything you want to share around that?
I think it's the how. For me, it's I've been a member of the Art of Home Ownership now for, I don't know, Ryan, a year and a half, almost right from
for about a year. Yep.
Started it. So, and that's been huge for me to be able to explain the things that we do afterwards. Not just that we're going to help you on financing today, but the value that we're going to give to you afterwards. I've been friends with Ryan on Facebook for a while as well, and I kept seeing his messages coming out, and really when COVID hit, pre-COVID, of course, I go to Jeremy Forcier's site visit, which, he's a rock star, and I started to look at the things that he did, and then I wanted to get connected with doing a little more social media, and I really didn't know how. I didn't know what to do. And this is about February. So I then go to Amplify with Renee and the people there. That was just awesome. So I learned a lot about myself during that period. And then I learned that I really want to share a message with people more. But again, I didn't know social media. I mean, I had a social media account. I have Facebook, but I didn't do anything with it. I literally didn't do anything with it. So I wasn't one of those people that took pictures of my meal and put it on there. So, so then COVID hit. I'm doing lunch and learns previous to that once a month. I have 15, 20 realtors in my office once a month. They love the lunch and learns. We're getting ready for lunch and learn. We get shut down. And immediately I'm like, okay, I've got to do this socially. I've got to do this via webinars, Zoom. I've got to do that. I've got to switch and adapt very quickly because I want to continue getting that education out. So then I connected with another person through Mortgage Coach within the community, Ryan with Uptown. He gets me set up with a camera and everything else that I needed to make sure that the things that we did looked professional. They looked good. They looked decent. And we start doing lunch and learns on a weekly basis, or classes on a weekly basis with realtors. So again, I haven't moved forward on social media yet. And it was really about 60 days ago where I decided, okay, I need to move forward with social media. And again, I want to be relevant in the market. I want people to know who I am. I want them to hear the message that I share. So I connected up with Deborah at Plug and Play SM, who then starts some of my social media campaigns. I connect up with another company, and And in the past, I had team members that would do this, but nobody ever did it as well as these people have done it so far. I then plugged into a company that runs, I created 65 or a list of 65 videos that I want, because I want to create kind of a YouTube channel like Kelly Zitlow. So I'm following the people that have done this so well. And so I get connected to that company, and we're starting to do the videos, and we're starting some Facebook campaigns, and they're going through my whole CRM and changing all of my messaging and making sure that it's branded right. And then, I got connected to Craig, and Craig was that final piece that I needed for social media. So now I've got an opportunity to be on CNBC. That will be pushed out to social media along with my messaging on a daily basis. Just through that messaging on a daily basis, I had 2 individuals that I went to high school with that historically, they probably would not have contacted me, because I posted stuff on social media every once in a while about the mortgage industry, but they probably would have worked with somebody else because they would have forgotten about me. I would have gotten frustrated. I would have defriended them and moved on. But they both called me, and we started going through opportunities that they had. One was a construction loan, one was a refinance. But just out of that, people started to learn, talk to Walt, because he is an educator. And again, I want people to know me, know that I'm in the business, and know the message that I have to share. So in social media, that's really been my whole time with social media there. So, and then I do have another thing to share, but I'll share that in a little bit. So.
All right. So I hope people took away just hearing him go through that, is that using media, there's a lot of different golf clubs in the golf bag. There's a lot of different moves. And Craig, I want to bring it back to you, and I want to make sure people understand what is the American Dream Golf Club. And again, if you want to be the most well-known, most well-respected mortgage professional in a market, you mentioned Dan Keller, you mentioned Kelly Zitlow, these are people that are also part of the American Dream community. And it really is a community. It's more than just a product and more than just a video. Right now, I know one of the things that you're doing a lot with loan officers, Craig, is helping them create content that's really well done, that's on CNBC. I'll have you share that in a minute. But I want to make sure you understand, guys, there's different golf clubs. So Craig, if you could just describe, one, what are the different types of media that you're seeing mortgage professionals do? And then what is the media that you're doing? So everybody's super clear on that.
It's the driver, man. It's a driver on the long distance hole when you're out drinking with your buddies and you're swinging out of your shoes. Like, that's what the American Dream is meant to be. It's we do it once a month. Ryan is a part of it. Walt's a part of it. We do it once a month to create a big splash on the show, and that can have a ripple effect of other things, like a great drive can. It's something that they can do Instagram stories. That's the putter, that's the pitching wedge, but it's super important. It's how you keep your score good, as you stay consistent, right? The American Dream it's the power play, it's credibility. It's very well produced. It's on CNBC. It's limited on the number of LOs that we'll bring into it based upon the market. It's the driver. So I think when you look at other strategies, and we're talking about clubs metaphorically here, there's other things that I think you need to do much more consistently than the American Dream. It's kind of like a professional photo, right? Yes, you should do some authentic family photos, but come end of the year, most people do Christmas cards, holiday cards. They could create a professional photo. Some things you want to look more well polished, or what you would put on your business card. I think the American Dream is a piece of very credible content, but what can ripple off of that, regardless if anyone was a part of it or not, there's stuff that you could do today. I mean, if Walt didn't join the American Dream model, what he just described to you as his evolution in this incredible space and industry that we're in right now, he's doing it anyway, right? He's making progress with or without the American Dream. I hope the American Dream is a feather in his cap, but the evolution for Walt and the other clubs, so to speak, is consistently moving from those lunch and learns to Zooms, doing more authentic stuff. Look at what Ryan Grant's putting out there. He puts out family stuff. You have really cute kids, by the way, Ryan. Puts out family stuff, but he puts out educational stuff. So if I follow Ryan, And I like Ryan and I'm connected and I see he's a family guy and I'm a family guy. And then boom, here's some advice on VA loans. Wait, I served, I could buy a house, no money down. It's that jab hook. So, I just went from golf to boxing, but I think American Dream is probably the driver, but I do think that you can have a great golf game without a driver. And that comes from creating consistent, authentic, even vulnerable content on multi-platforms and doing it consistently.
I love that metaphor of the driver. So I'm gonna play an example of Ryan Grant's. I don't know if I'm gonna let it play the whole time, but I'm gonna give it a minute. And then I want to all three of you guys kind of go around and give feedback on, why having a driver is a good idea if you go golfing. Where could micro content be created from this? And then guys, we're going to talk about that for a few minutes, and then we're going to transition to real estate agents. Like, what are the best real estate agents are doing? Because I think it's important as a mortgage coach that you know what your number one customer is doing. If you want to, use media, you want to be the most well-known loan officer in a local marketplace, guys, this is a great idea, but know what top realtors are doing. So let's check out what, I don't know if this is your first one, Ryan. I don't know what order it is, but let's check it out.
Hey everyone, if you're looking for perfect weather, endless entertainment options, and safe neighborhoods, I have the quintessential location for you to buy a home. My name is Ryan Grant, and welcome to Orange County, California. Home to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, and some of the best beaches in the country like Surf City, USA, Huntington Beach, the tourist hotspot, Laguna Beach, along with some of the best universities and schools in the country. VOC is one of the best places to buy your dream home. So, the show is about financing the American dream. And I want people to know getting a mortgage and just owning a home is not that hard. But becoming a successful homeowner and navigating the next 30 years of that mortgage is really challenging. Now, being the #1 lender in Orange County and one of the top 25 lenders in the country does not give us the pride that people think. The pride that we have around what we do is based on the fact that we help people grow their generational wealth. We help them plan for future real estate goals, and we help them save money all throughout that process. Now, buying a home in Orange County or anywhere can be challenging.
So guys, I want to take a break right there. We can come back to it. I'm going to have you, Ryan, share just kind of a behind the scenes, what you did and why. Bring it to you, Craig, and then Walt. But guys, Ryan is the real deal. He's delivering value beyond the transaction. He's using all these tools to deliver this amazing borrower experience. But now he's using American Dream to put it together, tell a story. I don't think that went more than a minute. I mean, maybe it was 90 seconds. So, there's all kinds of micro content that could be created from that. So Ryan, what were you doing there? How are you using that? Share for everybody.
Well, we wanted to just set the tone right out of the gate. So that was episode 1, scene 1. And so it was helpful for us to kind of create some level of consistency that we can keep kind of drawing back to. And so we wanted to make sure that anybody watching knew what how we were different, and that it wasn't just about, Orange County real estate. And we struggle with trying to, and Craig and I talk about this a lot. We struggle with trying to create good, entertaining TV with educational content that really the consumer needs to know, right? So we try and marry the two of those, and from there we go talk to one of the top real estate agents in the county, and we go to home and talk about moving up, first-time home buyers, how to buy a home in Orange County. We've the second episode we kind of touch on our differentiating factor. We touch on a different segment of the market. So the second one is a little bit more in the luxury market. The one that we just shot yesterday was about pre-sales renovation financing. So how to get the most from your home when you're selling it, flipping properties, upgrades, renovations. So we typically just pick a theme for each one of the segments, but we always have to make sure the consumer knows that, again, anyone can give you a mortgage. There's, I think, close to 900,000 licensed mortgage professionals in the country, and getting a mortgage is not that hard. It's just math, right? That's why I always say people love helping people. Well, all you're doing is just doing math and giving them a mortgage. If you were really helping them, you would help them before and help them after, because that's when they need it the most. So we want to continue that trend, make sure that that's a constant theme in each one of the segments. And then, like I said, in 2021, we plan on going even bigger and longer, and trying to penetrate even more.
Love it. Craig, any comments, any questions for Craig? Any perspective you want to provide to the audience?
Yeah, I don't know who it was, Ryan, but Ryan had some top realtor on his show that I got pinged like 3 or 4 times. Like, who's this? Is she on the show? And because as our mortgage partner, he leveraged it. Who's the top realtor that you just had? I know she was luxury, I think Compass.
Jesse Pagano with Keller, yeah.
See, to me, Ryan's first of all, I love the whole proactive versus reactive mindset here of marketing, right? It's one thing to fulfill someone who already has made up their mind and you got referred or whatever it may be. It's another thing to occupy mind space of people, families that you actually sparked it. You sparked the thought that you should refinance your mortgage, or maybe you should explore taking some years off or whatever. That's when that sums up this whole call as far as I'm concerned. That's what media does. That's the first question you asked about media, Dave. That's it. It's getting mind space of people and sparking something when there's something of value you can add. And of course, what you guys do in the mortgage coach community, which is that long-term developing a cost-effective strategy. I've heard Ryan say generational wealth. When I look at the American dream, we talk about realtors and what they're doing and knowing what your number one customer is doing, as you said, Dave. Tom Ferry has told them enough times you need to do video, right? And so has Gary Keller, and so have all these other guys. But I've had a front row seat all across the country in 60 cities now before COVID, flying, meeting with the best real estate teams in the world. And even the best are clueless. I mean, some do it better than others, but they're inconsistent. They don't necessarily build credible content. They get, when we talk about jab, jab, hook, they're all hooks. So I believe if I'm on this call and I'm a mortgage professional, I'm getting out there and I'm helping to be a solution for top realtors in this space. I'm going to do some stuff with you where we're going to talk about the finance side. You're going to talk about the real estate side. When you're a realtor, you're going to know their family, their hobbies, their kids, the school district. I see a 1003. I see their credit, their assets, their income. What is the synergy there to create content that is compelling to people proactively, as Ryan's suggesting, to learn about these things? And to me, when I look at the American dream, if we isolate that, it's relational. It's leveraging it to invite realtors on the show. Now, if you're not a part of the American dream, which I know many on this call are not, then maybe it's a podcast. Maybe it's just a video series, not a video, but a video series. I live in Encinitas. What if I did something, the lifestyles of Encinitas, financing the American dream of Encinitas? And we're going to create one thing a month, create a plan. And you could go and you could do that plan in all the micro markets in your area. San Diego, Solana Beach, San Diego, Little Italy. I would just create something where you're a content strategist with your realtors. I think I look at relationships being the key ingredient here off this content game.
No doubt, guys. So I'm going to play a little bit more of that video that Ryan did. And it started off with him sharing his value proposition, introducing his passion for Orange County and the market that he serves. You saw how Michelle Castle did that. And then let's look at an example of how they're bringing a realtor into the conversation and creating value for an agent. And just think about the power of this strategy.
Hey everyone, we are here at one of Orange County's newest listings with Jimmy Reed of the Reed team, who is the #1 rated real estate professional in Zillow here in Orange County. Now, Jimmy helped his family buy this home 7 years ago. They're now actually going to be selling this home and moving up into their longer term home. So Jimmy, tell us a little about this listing and just a little about the Orange County real estate market in general.
Right, well, this is your typical median size home, just below the median price of about $800,000.
Yeah.
And so it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's actually an attached single family dwelling.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, but here's the thing, there's no inventory.
Right.
So you really have to be poised on the financial side, know where you're going, have that plan. Of course, we helped them before.
Yeah.
So we're helping them now. And yeah, so we currently have about 6 offers on this home.
Wow.
So guys, do you think your realtor would like you if you were able to bring them into a situation like that? You're able to bring this type of leadership to them. Ryan, what did Jimmy think about this shoot with you, and how is this helping you with agents?
I mean, everyone's a big fan, right? If you can tell a realtor that you can, get them on any media, much less CNBC, right? So they can have that feather in their cap. It's just a big win, right? Because you're doing something to elevate their business, to elevate their brand. You're making a deeper collaboration between their business and yours. And that's really what we try and do, right? We try and create partnerships that are reliant on each other. If we ever go to sell our mortgage business, right, or a realtor ever goes to sell their business, we need to be able to show that these aren't just relationships that we have, right? Because I can't sell the relationship, but I can sell a partnership, right? And if a partnership means that they rely on me for their media, for their value proposition, for their conversion of their buyers, and then we rely on them for this, that, and the other, that's a real, true partnership. And I think that most lenders across the country, they believe they have partners that are realtors, when in reality, the realtor views them as a resource, not a partner. And there's a big difference. A resource is someone who funds loans and does it well. And as long as they continue to do that, then they'll probably continue to get referrals. A partnership is something that is reliant, that they build the business together. They're actually more focused on client aggregation, database engagement, media, brand elevation than they are the transaction, right? And I think most lenders focus on the conversion part of the transaction, the fulfillment part of the transaction, but they really rarely ever step into leadership and lead generation through media. And that's what our agents really love about this and any other media platform that will help them with.
Love it. So let's see how Michelle Castle is connecting with realtors and bringing media in Dallas, Texas, or a town outside of Dallas. Let's check it out.
Today we're talking to Kathy Cobb, who has a business and lives downtown, really living that American dream. So Kathy, tell us, you've been here, you've had your business, you've celebrated
2 years. 2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
And I've been living here for 6 months.
So, seriously, Kathy, that is people's American dream. They have their small business right here.
Absolutely, that is the dream, is to be able to have the storefront. The bonus is that I get to live right here, so I can pop in and do some work after hours. With COVID, we've had the ability to actually have customers come in after hours.
So guys, Michelle Castle wants to be the captain of the Welt team, and she wants to be the digital mayor of the city that she's serving. So not only is she showcasing agents, she's showcasing local businesses. I'm sure she was super strategic, super smart about who she picked. And now, again, she's becoming more well-known. She's becoming more well-respected, more trusted, and she's creating this media platform. Ryan, what do you think of that? Is that part of your roadmap? Do you plan on not only bringing realtors in, but local leaders?
Yeah, 100%. We, in the second episode, which is airing this Saturday, we interviewed the Ritz-Carlton. So we talked to their director of marketing and, did an interview in one of their suites. And, Houzz is a big Houzz, the online company there. We're slated to interview them coming up for one of our things. They're located in Orange County. Their headquarters is here. And so, South Coast Plaza is on our radar. And so we want to get to, ideally we would do Disneyland, but they're not really in that position at the moment. So, we want to get quintessential Orange County, UC Irvine. We want to get the industry leaders that the community also, is able to enjoy and bring that in as a part of the business as well. So there's an endless number of opportunities. Same thing, CPAs, financial planners, estate planning attorneys, contractors. We have a contractor as a part of this upcoming show that we're doing. And so there's so many leverage points, right? It's just, it's an endless opportunity.
So, Walt, sorry, I don't have any of your footage to show, but you have not aired on CNBC yet. And, but I know your content is coming soon. And Guys, my goal is that if you're a mortgage coach, I want you to be the most well-respected, most successful loan officer in whatever market you want to serve. And I see my relationship with American Dream and Craig is just a great opportunity for those who want to put the American Dream driver in their golf bag. Again, I talk all the time. First thing you need to do is create a text video. Like if you're not using your mobile phone, putting a little video, 15 seconds, saying thank you to Realtors. Guys, that's the easiest thing to do with video. When you're delivering options to a family, if you're not putting a mortgage coach video, easy to do. If you're not using BombBomb or one of their competitors, we use Vidyard. If you're not putting video in email, easy thing to do. If you're not doing Zoom and Facebook Live, easy to do. And what we're here to do is just advocate. You do all those things, like they're all clubs in the bag, but we want to show you, hey, there is a driver and there is some really amazing content, the best quality content in real estate and mortgage. Well, you haven't got to chat long, but what is your strategy? And then we're going to bring it back to you, Craig. Remember, audience, if you have questions, put your questions down below, and we will have time to get them all answered. So, Walt,
Sure.
What's your playbook?
So, my first show, I had an insurance agent on, and he's also been in the city council and served a lot of the city. And so we met down at the local park, and that was all community built. And there's a carousel down there that was community built, and everything. We talked about Salem and the Willamette Valley and whatnot. And he's #1 insurance agent in the area here, local broker. So I'm excited to see what that show looks like, Craig. I'm praying that your techs are awesome at putting stuff together, because just like anything, you get in front of that camera and you've got the camera guy there holding the camera. It's not just your iPhone. It's not, I've got a Canon camera that I'm using right now. It's not that. It's a professionally done deal. I couldn't think. I literally could not think. I'm in front of the camera, and the guy that shot it for me, he's one of my past clients. And I finally just said at one point, dude, turn the camera on yourself and just talk about my team. So, but a lot of times people talk about, I see there's a comment, how do I create videos and that? And I side with Craig. If they're videos that you're going to have around for a while, it's not just a quick deal, a quick Facebook Live or something like that, have them professionally done. I've tried the other ways. It's okay, but when they're professionally done, it's going to look so much better. Secondly, what content do you share? And I've always been one that I wanted to have everything mapped out. I wanted to have my playbook mapped out for my whole loan process. I coached loan officers on that. I wanted to have my social media campaign mapped out. But I'll tell you that things pop up. And just recently, I'm an art of home. I'm a member of the Art of Home Ownership. And one thing that we do at the end of every transaction, at the start of every transaction, we tell everybody the value that we bring. And so through all the services that we're going to bring afterwards, one of those things is a mortgage review, an annual mortgage review. So at the end of the transaction, we have a post-close call. Again, we're reminding the client, we do a mortgage review, yada, yada, yada. So I reminded my cousin, I did her transaction. I refinanced her last year. I reminded her that we're going to have a mortgage review. A year later, I call for the mortgage review. She's in the process of a refinance with her current servicer. I'm like, are you serious? You didn't call me, and we're here now in the mortgage review. And so this wasn't her transaction, but I do want to share with you a separate transaction where I was able to get her away from a servicer, and we're helping her out now, and we've restructured the way that she's looking at things. But I do want to share with you something else that came up. So servicers are doing this consistently right now, and this is something that we're posting out on social media. We're going to be doing videos on it and pushing it out there. But I'm not going to say who the servicer was, but it's one of the main servicers contacted one of our clients. I then had my mortgage review with them 2 months later. In the conversation, I said, how are you enjoying your house? Are you loving your house? And they said, yes, we're loving our house. Perfect. Does your house still work for you? Yes, it does. Are you loving your neighbors? Yep, it's awesome. So is your plan still 5 years to be in your house? Yes, it is. At least 5 years. It's really 5 to 7 years. Okay, great. And then I said, do you still have the current loan that we put on your property 2 years ago, which was an FHA loan? And he said, I have the same servicer. I said, okay. So did you refinance? Yes, I refinanced 2 months ago. I said, oh, okay. Now, historically, I would kind of let him go and have fun. But I pressed forward with him for some reason. And as I started talking to him, I said, what type of loan did they do? And he said, we did an FHA streamline loan. It was so easy. And the servicer, they saved me $291 a month. And I said, oh, that wasn't the strategy. The strategy was for you to go from an FHA loan that has mortgage insurance into a conventional loan and avoid the mortgage insurance, and we can save you more money. So I then reworked the numbers. And I told him, you know what, had we done your loan at that time, we would have put you into a conventional loan. And I showed him on Mortgage Coach, we would have saved him $521 a month instead of $291 a month. Had he saved that, or had he put that money back into his mortgage every month, his current servicer, the way that he did the loan, he'll pay his house off in 21 years. He has mortgage insurance because he has an FHA loan. With us, he would have paid his house off in 17.5 years. So he cost himself, just on a 15-year span, on a 60-month span, he cost himself $15,000 in interest. And over I remember if it was a 30-year, it was a 15-year span. Over that time, he cost himself $121,000 worth of interest and MI. So he literally, at the end of that conversation, said, I am sick. Those are the things, as we're starting to come up against things like that, I am then pushing those things out to the companies that are running my social media campaigns, because I'm not good at it. I'm not good at managing it, and that I've got companies to be able to do that. I'm pushing that data out to them. I'm pushing the TCS out to them, asking them to create the social media campaign. And this one just started on Monday. So
first of all, that's an awesome story. And now tell that story and amplify it. So we've had a number of questions. One person said, what kind of, tech do I need to get? So guys, your mobile phone, these earbuds are pretty badass. I do recommend them. And 90% of the videos you can do with this. Now, when it comes to creating elevated content, I'm with what Craig said, outsource it. Guys, if you're a busy mortgage professional, make sure you're prospecting 2 hours or more a day. Make sure you're delivering a perfect experience. Use this video device all the time to create personalized content. And when it comes to creating really well packaged content, hire the best. And Craig, some people have asked, how do they get more? It looks like you've shared your link, but I want to make sure people know what it is that you're doing for Ryan, Walt. I know you've got, hundreds of realtors, dozens of mortgage professionals. What are you doing for these guys? Because there's people that want to know, and also let them know how they can contact you.
Yep. So in the context of that, we do a lot, Ignite Media. Sorry, I have a fly buzzing around here. Ignite Media is a media company. I'm the CEO of Ignite Media. I have a background in mortgage. So in the context of this call and the CNBC, which we've referenced a lot, it was a passion project for me. Honestly, to get on CNBC is no easy task. It took me years, and there's a lot of red tape and everything else. So when I got the ability to do it, the very first thing that I wanted to do is go straight after the mortgage play and mortgage content. So we created a show, Financing the American Dream, and we allow one mortgage partner professional per market. We started with only room for 5 because we were doing a monthly show, but now that's rolled into a weekly show. So we have some opportunities to open it up, and we only allow one professional per market. And if anybody wants to learn about is there a market available, how does it work, there is an economic model to how it works. Just shoot me an email, craig@craigsewing.com. I'll just drop it in the chat box again. And sewing is spelled like a sewing machine. So craig@craigsewing.com. I could go a lot of other directions with what we have going on, but that's what I would reach out for today, Dave.
Yeah. So if you're a mortgage professional, you want to put this driver, you want to have the kind of content that you've seen examples of today, email Craig. If you're watching the recording of this, whether you're watching it in Facebook or or you're watching on YouTube, we'll put Craig's email address down below. Shoot him an email. And I recommend you follow him. I also recommend that you follow other badass mortgage coach professionals like Dan Keller, like Kelly Zitlow, Ryan Grant. Walt is new to the game. Denise Donahue. Follow people that are killing it using media to build brand, to add value to agents. And guys, it does generate leads. When you create this kind of content with a realtor, with a local business owner, any type of credible local source, it will generate leads for you too. Ryan, anything you want to add to that? And, just get into the last 10 minutes of the call, anything you want to make sure we share with the audience or anything you want to add to that?
No, I just on same lines as what you were saying, success leaves clues. There's no need to go figure all this stuff out on your own when the majority of it's already been done. And you can add your spin to it, right? You can make it your own, but if you follow the people that Dave just talked about and watch what they're doing and how they're messaging and their value proposition, what's creating, what's allowing them the ability to stand out in a meaningful way, just rinse and repeat. Walt said the same thing. He just found all the people that were doing it well and saw what they were doing, and he's seeing phenomenal success from it. So I think that media is not going away. I think 85% of all content will be video content within the next 2 to 3 years on Google. So if we don't really, dive into that space and we're still sending out postcards and knocking on doors, that may work for 1 or 2 clients, but you're trying to have it work for, 1 or 200 clients. So we have to have a bigger loudspeaker. We have to be seen by more people. And the marketing aspect of what we do really needs to change. And I think that, Craig and his group and a lot of other people, industry leaders, are really leading that charge. So I would recommend everybody just bite the bullet and dive into video content.
Love it. And I do want to remind folks, Michelle Castle, first of all, wish her well. She's recovering from COVID right now. But she was so nice that she wrote up, a really nice read, just breaking down, what does it mean for her to use social media in 2021. So I do recommend, if this is something that you're interested in, read this post that she put in here. I think she puts links to how she's sharing some of it. We didn't get into a lot of that, although I've interviewed Craig before where we talked about creating content, distribution of content. We didn't spend a lot of time on the distribution of content, but YouTube, Facebook, email, lots of different ways to share video. So Walt, you got a minute because we've only got a few minutes left and I want to make sure we let Craig close it out, but anything you want to add at this point?
Just ultimately, when shooting video, we've heard it before, but get over yourself. The first time that I shot my first video in Mortgage Coach with a TCA, I shot that video 22 times. The reason why it wasn't 23 times is because I didn't watch it at that point. I just said, it is what it is, and I sent it. So just video yourself, send it out. It'll be okay. That's what you do sound like. That's what you do look like. And that's it. So thanks for having me, Dave.
Right on, brother. We'll appreciate you. Craig, we're in the final mile here. Anything that you want to share with the Mortgage Coach audience before we wrap it up?
Yeah, it's Nike, right? Just do it. It's really that simple. Dave, I'm gonna quote a good friend of ours, Ron Quintero, what he used to say back before people were doing video. It's coming from Ron, God rest his soul, and Ron tended to be a little edgier on some of the ways he described things. If you're doing this stuff for the first time, you're not good at it. Just remember, you weren't good at sex the first time either. That's a Ron Quintero used to always say about getting out there and creating content and doing videos. So you'll get better every time. It's, I was sitting there watching Michelle's, Dave, and honestly got goosebumps, and it's our own model. And I was just so proud to see another mortgage originator, which is in my DNA. We said that earlier. When you watch the 1 minute of that segment, Dave, what is she doing? Great energy. She's passionate about the American dream of homeownership. She's sitting down with a realtor, leveraging it relationally, and she's highlighting a business. So that brings exposure to that business. Ryan said he is the director of marketing for the Ritz. Think about what he said when he said that. that means they're going to take the content and push it out there. And who goes with it? You know, so it's about leveraging the medium, creating the content, building relationships around it. So as a Nike quote goes, just do it. And Dave, I want to say one more thing here. We talk about golf today. Mortgage Coach and you're not a club, but you're the caddy, man. You are Mortgage Coach and Dave Savage are the caddy in this metaphor of golf advice that we put together here. You're telling them the wind, the club to use. You join them on the 19th hole, having a John Daly. Dave Savage, you are the caddy. So
I love that. I never thought of it that way, but I thought those were some good words to close on, guys. Just do it. We told you how to reach out to Craig if you want to have the big Mac Daddy driver that some of the best realtors in America are using, some of the best mortgage professionals that are leveraging media. Reach out to Craig. We didn't have time to get into all the different realtor strategies. So I don't know if we'll do, maybe next month if you're up for it, Craig, and we'll come in and we'll just talk about how top realtors are using media and how you can get some ideas that you could do a lunch and learn for a real estate agent, or you could come in and provide some leadership at a lunch and learn. So we'll put something together. Are you game with putting that together, Craig?
Love to do it. And for any of you guys out there that are doing lunch and learn Zooms with your realtors, I'd be more than happy to jump in and be a guest speaker and talk directly to them.
Boom.
If anybody messages me, that'd be fun.
All right, guys. So if you were tuned into this, whether you're watching the recording or watching it live, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I hope you got some inspiration, some takeaways. Ryan and Walt, thank you very much for making time to be here for the audience. Michelle, we hope you heal up quickly. Thank you for taking time to put an awesome post in our community and all the leadership you bring. I will make sure you are invited to the next time we get together with Craig, and you can share how you're using it with your local market. Guys, this call is a wrap. Have an awesome day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Dave, thanks, guys.